Hello students, welcome to All for C Learning. This is session 64 in organic chemistry and we are discussing phenols. In previous session we learned that preparation and physical properties of phenols and we discussed acidic nature of phenols. Phenols are having acidic nature. There is a lot of difference between behaving as acid and acidic nature. There is a lot of difference between these two. Phenols are not acids. Phenols shows acidic nature, and we was learned that presence of electron withdrawing group in phenol, particularly in ortho and para position, enhances the acidic nature of phenols, and the presence of electron withdrawing group enhances acidic nature, whereas presence of electron releasing group decreases acidic nature of phenol. For that, pKa values evidence was discussed in previous session. So it is very clear, compared to carboxylic acids, phenols are less acidic. That means phenols are weak acids than carboxylic acids, and not only compared to carboxylic acids, but also with the carbonic acid. Means phenols, acidic nature of phenol is less than carbonic acid H2CO3, less than carboxylic acid COOH. So based on this point we are going to learn phenol can react with which type of reagents. Let us see. If we are having carboxylic acid RCOOH and phenol in a mixer, this mixer is present in ether solvent. If this mixer is present in ether solvent, this one upon reaction with sodium hydroxide, here carboxylic acid, basically acids, and they can react with the sodium hydroxide, hence carboxylic acid converts into RCOO minus and Na plus here, and not only carboxylic acid but also phenols also react with the sodium hydroxide. That's why we are getting PHO minus Na plus. That means a mixer consists phenol and carboxylic acid. Upon reaction with sodium hydroxide, it gives both gives salts with sodium hydroxide. Now this one upon reaction with sodium bicarbonate, here sodium bicarbonate is conjugate of carbonic acid. Carbonic acid, here this one is carbonic acid and its salt is sodium bicarbonate. Now sodium bicarbonate do not react with phenol, but sodium bicarbonate reacts with carboxylic acid. That means upon reaction with sodium bicarbonate we can notice RCOO Na, and phenol remains as such. Since this one is salt, it is soluble in water, and phenol still remains in ether. That means it is very clear, mixture of phenol and carboxylic acid we can separate by treatment with sodium bicarbonate. Since sodium bicarbonate react with only carboxylic acid and do not react with phenol. Why do not react with phenol? Here acidic nature, if you observe, phenol is less acidic than carbonic acid. That means phenol conjugate phenoxide is a strong base than carbonic acid conjugate. That's why if we assume that reaction between NaCO3 and PHOH, then what we are expecting product PHO minus sodium phenoxide, and sodium phenoxide now strong base, again it abstracts product from carbonic acid. That's why we are not supposed to see any reaction with carbonic acid, sodium bicarbonate and phenol. Now, so from this experiment it is very clear phenol do not react with sodium bicarbonate. But in previous session we learned presence of nitro groups in phenol, particularly in ortho and para position. Here, if two nitro groups are there, because of these nitro groups are strong minus M groups, strong electron withdrawing groups, we can say here acidic nature is very high. Now this 2,4 dinitrophenol can react with NaCO3 because of it enhances acidic nature. Not only 2,4 dinitro and 2,4,6 trinitrophenol means here with increase in number of nitro groups, what happened? Acidic nature of phenols increases because of nitro groups, electron withdrawing groups. Whenever acidic nature of phenols here increases, yes, the tendency to react with the sodium bicarbonate also increases. Now, in phenols, here it is very clear what are the reaction sites for learning chemical properties. What are the reaction sites? It is very clear by cleavage of OH bond. So OH bond cleavage. So OH bond cleavage, which properties that what we call acidic properties of phenol. So whatever the properties we are going to learn by cleavage of OH bond, all that properties are nothing but acidic properties of phenol. And is there any scope to break this CO bond? Is there any scope? No, because of in phenol, oxygen containing lone pair is participating in resonance with the ring. Because of it participates in resonance here, what happened? Carbon oxygen double bond character, going to develop here. Now, because of the presence of double bond in between carbon and oxygen, the tendency to break the CO bond obviously decreases. That means it is not that much easy to displace the total OH group which attached to phenyl ring. That means CO bond cleavage is very difficult. And that means here it is very clear. By breaking OH bond, we can learn few properties. And because of oxygen donates its lone pair of electron, means oxygen lone pair is involving in resonance. Further, although para positions will be electron rich. So here in ortho and para, if any electrophile is there, it has to come to ortho and para. That means phenol gives two types of reactions. Reaction number 1 by breaking OH bond, and reaction number 2 by participating in electrophilic substitution reaction. Let us see. By breaking of OH bond, phenol upon reaction with sodium hydroxide, just now we discussed that. Phenol upon reaction with sodium hydroxide, here sodium phenoxide PHO minus Na plus, PHO minus Na plus and H2O. So, can you recall that? Same reaction can we expect with alcohol. So ROH plus NaOH. Can you write RONA, RO minus Na plus and H2O? Is it possible? That reaction is not possible. So alcohol do not react with sodium hydroxide, but phenols can react with sodium hydroxide. Remember that point. So phenols upon reaction with sodium hydroxide, we are getting sodium phenoxide in water. This reaction is acid-base reaction, and this reaction takes place by cleavage of OH bond. And the same phenol upon reaction with sodium bicarbonate, no reaction. Right now, phenol upon reaction with neutral FeCl3 ferric chloride, phenol. 6 moles of phenol upon reaction with neutral FeCl3. As we know that in FeCl3 iron oxidation number is plus 3. Then here oxidation number of iron is plus 3, but coordination number of iron is 6. Oxidation number of iron in FeCl3 is plus 3, but iron coordination number in general 6. Here what happened? The 3 Cl minus ions get ionized, and this Fe3 plus is coordinated with the 6 phenoxide ions. Then we are getting Fe OC6H5 taken 6 whole minus 3 plus 3HCl. Here phenol upon reaction with the neutral ferric chloride, we are getting colored complex, violet colored complex, and this is a test for phenol. Not only for phenols, this is a test for enols. Enols means wherever double bond containing carbon is attached to OH. So for all enol, neutral FeCl3 test applicable. So next, chemical properties. Let us see. Phenol upon reaction with alkyl halides in presence of alkali. Phenol PHOH upon reaction with the alkali, and just now we learned that we are getting sodium phenoxide Na plus OPH minus. Now this phenoxide upon reaction with alkyl halide, PHO minus is going to displace that X minus, then we are getting ROPH and NaX. So this reaction is much familiar, nothing but Williamson synthesis. Let us recall Williamson synthesis. Alkyl halide upon reaction with the sodium alkoxide, it gives ether. I will look here, this is alkyl halide upon reaction with the sodium phenoxide. We are getting either ROPH. That means we are getting phenyl ethers. Now, phenol upon reaction with potassium hydroxide, we are getting potassium phenoxide. This one upon reaction with methyl iodide, then we are getting anisole methoxyphenol, also called anisole. Methoxyphenol, also called anisole. If we want to prepare phenyl tertiary butyl ether, we want to prepare phenyl tertiary butyl ether. And here, what are the reactants? For preparing phenyl tertiary butyl ether, there are two ways. One is PHO minus upon reaction with ICCH3, CH3, CH3. So tertiary butyl iodide, sodium phenoxide. In this case, what happened? Are you getting major product here? Phenyl tertiary butyl ether. Are you getting that product? Or one more way here, phenyl iodide upon reaction with sodium tertiary butoxide or potassium tertiary butoxide. So it is very clear. If we consider that sodium or potassium tertiary butoxide, it is not possible to displace the I minus from hydrobenzene. Here, it is not allowed to enter. Basically, ring is electron rich. Upon electron rich ring, one more electron rich species cannot attack. That's why these two set of reactants is not correct. And if you want to prepare that phenyl tertiary butyl ether, of course the product whatever you are getting, that is a minor product, no doubt that one. But we can prepare only in this way by considering sodium phenoxide with tertiary butyl iodide. Of course, here along with the substitution product, we are also getting elimination product, that is isobutene. We are getting elimination product, that is nothing but isobutene, and we can prepare sodium phenoxide upon reaction with dimethyl sulfate. Dimethyl sulfate, CH3 taken twice, SO4. Here also PHO minus NX upon one of the methyl group. Then we can prepare PHOCH3. If we consider diethyl sulfate, in such a case we can prepare ethyl phenyl ether. If you are using methyl dimethyl sulfate, we are getting methyl phenyl ether. And if we consider ethyl diethyl sulfate, we are getting phenyl ethyl ether. Next one. The same ethers we can also prepare by heating phenol with methyl alcohol. Phenol upon heating with methyl alcohol in presence of anhydrous thoria or Al2O3. Anhydrous thoria, thorium oxide or anhydrous Al2O3. We are getting phenyl methyl ether. So as we know that this one is good dehydrating agent, here this reaction is example for dehydration. So students, so far we discussed that formation of ether, like it follows Williamson synthesis, sodium phenoxide upon reaction with alkyl halide and dimethyl sulfate, we are getting ethers. Now formation of esters. So esterification reaction, Fischer esterification reaction, if you recall, carboxylic acid or carboxylic acid derivatives upon reaction with alcohol in presence of mineral acid catalyst, we are getting esters. Here carboxylic acid or carboxylic acid derivatives remains as such, but instead of alcohol, phenol is going to take part in the reaction. Let us see. Formation of ester, phenol upon reaction with the sodium hydroxide, we know that sodium phenoxide. The sodium phenoxide, PHO minus Na plus sodium phenoxide upon reaction with the RC double bond OCl, this is what we call the acid chloride. Acid chloride is more reactive here, and Cl will be displaced by PHO minus, that means nucleophilic substitution reaction. Here what happen, RCO minus Cl and OPH. Upon reversal of the charge, Cl has to come out as Cl minus, then we are getting RC double bond OPH. So this is what we call the phenolic ester. Phenolic ester. If RC double bond OCl, if it is acetyl chloride, CH3 C double bond OCl, then we are getting CH3 C double bond OPH. It is called phenyl acetate or phenyl ethanoate. So sodium phenoxide upon reaction with the acid chloride, we are getting acid chloride means acetyl chloride. Then we are getting phenyl acetate, also called phenyl ethanoate. Now, I used to consider sodium acetate or acetic anhydride. Let us see here. Phenol upon reaction with acetic anhydride, CH3 C double bond O, C double bond O CH3, acetic anhydride in presence of concentrated H2SO4. In presence of concentrated H2SO4. Here, what reaction takes place? The oxygen has to come and attack upon one of the carboxylic group. This oxygen has to come and attack upon one of the carboxylic group. Then we are getting CH3 C double bond O OPH. Here, remaining part comes out as acetic acid CH3COOH. That means just like alcohol upon reaction with acetic anhydride, we are getting ester and carboxylic acid. Here also same CH3 C double bond OPH, and this one is nothing but ester phenyl acetate. Phenyl acetate. Here concentrated sulfuric acid generally acts as protonating, means this oxygen gets protonate and which will facilitate to attack this phenolic oxygen upon this carbonyl group, carboxylic carbon. And similar reaction, if instead of acetyl chloride, if we are using a benzoyl chloride, as you know, the difference between benzyl chloride, benzoyl chloride, benzoyl chloride. Benzyl chloride is PHCH2Cl. Benzyl chloride is PHCH2Cl. PHCHCl2 is a benzoyl chloride. Now benzoyl chloride PHC double bond OCl. This is the benzoyl chloride upon reaction with the sodium phenoxide. Upon reaction with the sodium phenoxide, this O minus has to come and attack upon carbonyl group of benzoyl chloride. Then we are getting PHCO minus Cl OPH. Upon reversal, the Cl has to leave. Then we are getting PHC double bond OPH. So here phenyl benzoate, its name is phenyl benzoate, means benzoic acid derivative. Here acetic acid derivative, that's why phenyl acetate, and here benzoic acid derivative, that's why it is called phenyl benzoate. And this reaction what we call Schotten-Bowman reaction. This reaction what we call Schotten-Bowman reaction. So acetyl chloride, we are getting phenyl acetate. Benzoyl chloride, we are getting benzoyl. So students, so far we discussed the reactions in which OH bond cleavage takes place. Now if you observe that OC bond cleavage also possible under drastic conditions, let us see such reactions. But remember that yield is poor in such reactions. And first one, reaction with PCl5. If we recall that alcohols upon reaction with PCl5, as we discussed that PCl5 acts as Lewis acid accept electron pair from oxygen, and poor leaving OH group is going to convert into good leaving group. Here we learn like that. Here it is going to bear positive charge, is going to bear negative charge, and from here Cl minus has to come out, and along with that Cl minus it absorbs the H plus also, so we are getting R. Here HCl comes out, here 4 chlorine remains, and later again this oxygen is going to donate electron pair to vacant orbital of phosphorus, and one more Cl has to come out. This Cl has to attack upon this alkyl group from their side. Finally we are getting RCl plus POCl3. So alcohols upon reaction with PCl5, we are getting alkyl halide and POCl3. Similar reaction we can observe in case of phenols also. Let us see phenols PHOH upon reaction with PCl5. PHOH phenols upon reaction with PCl5, we are getting PHCl. So in this reaction what happened? OH displaced by Cl. Is it possible? In the beginning of the session only we learned that it is highly difficult because of carbon oxygen double bond exists. Yes, that's correct. But here, whenever we are using PCl5, oxygen containing lone pair will be donated to vacant orbital of phosphorus. That means which decreases and resonates with phenyl ring. Hence, this reaction is possible. But here we pulled yield is much poor. So here we are getting poor yield product. And one more possibility, this POCl3 upon further reaction with the phenol. Here why we are getting chlorobenzene is poor yield? Not because of here attachment tendency is less. Here yield is poor because of the formed POCl3 upon reaction with the phenol, and we are getting triphenyl phosphate PH3PO4 and HCl. So whatever the product POCl3 byproduct we are getting, that will react with phenol, and triphenyl phosphate will be formed as a major product. So let us recall once again. Alcohols upon reaction with PCl5, we know that alkyl halides we are getting along with POCl3. But the same case, if you observe in case of phenol, we are getting chlorobenzene poor yield. Because of formed POCl3 further reacts with phenol, excess of phenol, it gives triphenyl phosphate. It gives triphenyl phosphate. Next, phenols upon reduction with zinc dust and heat. Phenols upon reduction. So OH, this one upon reduction with zinc dust and heat, here it converts into benzene. Reduction of phenol gives benzene and ZnO. Now, in this reaction, phenol, oxygen converts phenol, this OH2 converts into C6H6 benzene, means it lost one oxygen, hence this what we call reduction reaction. Similarly, upon reaction with ammonia and zinc chloride, that reaction what we call Bucherer reaction. This Bucherer reaction is nothing but phenol upon reaction with ammonia, phenol upon reaction with ammonia in presence of ZnCl2 and high temperature. ZnCl2, anhydrous ZnCl2, again anhydrous ZnCl2 is electron pair acceptor, Lewis acid catalyst. Here oxygen donates electron pair to vacant orbital of zinc, and we are getting aniline as a product. We are getting aminobenzene or aniline as a product. So in this reaction also OH group displaced by NH2 and H2O. Now one more reaction with P2S5 phosphorus pentasulfide phenols, 5 moles of phenols upon reaction with P2S5, we are getting P2O5 and thiophenol. So here in all these reactions if you observe, the one which we learned that is not possible, that is highly difficult. Such reactions are possible means replacement of OH with some other nucleophile. If you observe in the first case with PCl5, OH group displaced by Cl, and in second case OH displaced by H, we can learn like that. And in third case OH displaced by NH2. In fourth case OH displaced by SH. In all these reactions OH group displaces, but don't forget that for all these reactions we are using Lewis acid catalyst, and whenever we are using Lewis acid catalyst, it can make that poor leaving OH converts into good leaving rho. Students, so far we discussed reactions towards OH group. Now we are going to discuss reactions upon benzene ring. That reactions what we call electrophilic substitution reactions. Since in phenol OH group is electron releasing group and it makes the ring active, Ultimately, in ortho and para position, negative charge appears. Hence, if any electrophile may come and attack in ortho and para position. Let us see bromination. So here two types of reactions are there. Bromination in carbon disulfide or CCl4 means non-polar solvents. Bromination in non-polar solvents. So in non-polar solvents, phenolic OH still remains as OH and it activates ortho and para position. That's why here upon bromination we are getting ortho-bromophenol and para-bromophenol are the products. Ortho-bromophenol and para-bromophenol. These two are the products. But the same bromination if performs in presence of polar solvent like water. In presence of polar solvent like water, that means phenol upon bromination in presence of H2O means earlier carbon disulfide and now we are using polar solvent. In such a case, we are getting 2,4,6 tribromophenol. 2,4,6 tribromophenol we are getting product. So here bromination, excessive bromination we are getting, whereas in earlier case monobromination. So why it happens like that? In first case non-polar solvent, in non-polar solvent monobromination, ortho-bromo and para-bromo. Obviously para-bromo product is a major product and ortho-bromo product is a minor product. Whereas the same bromination it performs in presence of polar solvents, then we are getting 2,4,6 tribromophenol because in case of carbon disulfide, phenolic OH group still exists as phenol only, OH group only, and whereas in polar solvents, this phenol polarizes and it converts into phenoxide ion. This O minus activates ring much more compared to OH. As OH, oxygen has to provide its lone pair of electron. Means oxygen lone pair electron has to delocalize, has to involve in delocalization. Further it activates ring and we are getting bromination product in ortho and para positions. Whereas in case of phenoxide ion, what happened? This O minus is going to drain. Means here compulsion, O minus formation, because here it shows acidic nature and obviously O minus donates much more electron pair to the ring. That means compared to as OH it activates vanillin ring, compared to that one as O minus it activates more that ring. That's why excessive bromination takes place. And we are getting 2,4. So 2,4,6 tribromophenol. This 2,4,6 tribromophenol is white precipitate. 2,4,6 tribromophenol is white precipitate. That means in case of polar solvents, bromination of phenol gives white precipitate of 2,4,6 tribromophenol. Whereas in case of non-polar solvents, we are getting para product as major product 80% product and ortho product as minor product which is 20%. Hope you got. In case of non-polar solvents, phenol remains as OH and in such a case the activating tendency of oxygen is less. Whereas in case of polar solvents, phenol exists as a phenoxide ion and in such a case O minus activates more ring. That's why excessive bromination 2,4,6 tribromophenol we are getting product. And sulfonation, as we know, sulfonation, benzene upon sulfonation we are getting benzene sulfonic acid. For sulfonation in general we are using fuming sulfuric acid or pyrosulfuric acid, also called H2S2O7, fuming sulfuric acid or pyrosulfuric acid, also called oleum. So phenol upon sulfonation, here H2SO4 plus SO3, concentrated sulfuric acid and SO3, H2S2O7 we are getting, and fuming sulfuric acid SO3 neutral electrophile. As we know that oxidant activates ring and ortho and para positions are gets activated, and SO3 electrophile has to come and attack in ortho and para position. Then we are getting product here OH and SO3H, OH and SO3H, and para product we are getting here OH and SO3H. So ortho hydroxybenzene sulfonic acid and para hydroxybenzene sulfonic acid. Now at low temperature ortho product is major. At low temperature ortho product is major. And at high temperature para product is major. Major at high temperature. So mechanism I am not going to discuss here because in previous session so many times was learned the mechanism how SO3 attacks upon benzene ring and what are the resonance structures we are getting. The all structures I am not going to discuss here, and instead of that let us focus more on the remaining reactions. Here I am writing direct products, and if necessary try to write yourself, then you will get answer. If you did not get answer, we will discuss in down session. Now this one ortho and para products. Ortho and para products means ortho hydroxy benzene sulfonic acid, para hydroxy benzene sulfonic acid, both upon nitration HNO3 and H2SO4 1:1 ratio of concentrated nitric acid and concentrated sulfuric acid. So nitration takes place. Now can we expect where nitration takes place here? Here where nitration takes place? Yes, nitration takes place by displacing this SO3H group. Nitration takes place by displacing that bulky SO3H group. That means we can easily displace SO3H and COOH similar groups which are good leaving tendency group. So which are bulky groups, that bulky groups are good leaving tendency group we can easily replace with nitro groups. That is substitution what we call ipso substitution. That substitution what we call ipso substitution. Then here we are getting product OH and NO2, this what we call orthonitrophenol, and here we are getting paranitrophenol, and reaction is not going to stop after formation of orthonitrophenol or paranitrophenol, 2-nitrophenol or 4-nitrophenol, and further 2,4,6 trinitrophenol also possible. And we already learned regarding this 2,4,6 trinitrophenol, which is nothing but picric acid. 2,4,6 trinitrophenol is nothing but picric acid. So phenol upon sulfonation we are getting ortho and para, means SO3 acts as electrophile, then SO3 has to attack in ortho and para. We are getting two products of which at low temperature ortho product is major, and at high temperature para product is major. And don't forget that we already learned in previous sessions, major product at low temperature means kinetic product, major product at high temperature means thermodynamic product. This one is kinetic product and this one is thermodynamic product, and which upon further nitration that SO3H group we can easily displace. Not only SO3H, COH groups also we can easily displace. The displacement of bulky electron withdrawing groups are with some other groups, and what we call NO2 group. Then that what we call ipso substitution. Then we are getting ortho or 2-nitrophenol, 4-nitrophenol, which upon further nitration we are getting 2,4,6 trinitrophenol. That's what we call picric acid. So students, here whatever the reaction we are going to learn, they are much familiar to us. Let us see nitration. Nitration of phenols. During nitration of phenol, we need to use dilute nitric acid. We need to use only dilute nitric acid. Why we have to use only dilute nitric acid during nitration? Because of phenolic oxygen, this group also easily oxidizable. If we are using concentrated nitric acid, since concentrated nitric acid is not only nitrating group but also strong oxidizing agent, here it can oxidize that phenolic OH group. That's why we need to use dilute nitric acid. In such a case, we are adding orthonitrophenol and paranitrophenol are the products, And we know already we learned regarding this ortho and para-nitrophenols. Ortho-nitrophenol involves in intramolecular hydrogen bonding. Ortho-nitrophenol is steam volatile, whereas para-nitrophenol is not steam volatile. So we can separate these two mixture ortho-nitrophenol and para-nitrophenol by steam distillation. And here dilute nitric acid only we have to use. If concentrated nitric acid we are using, then this it oxidizes phenolic OH group also. And here instead of direct NO2 plus, what happened here, you know, the mechanism, there is a another alternate, means another way of mechanism, alternate way of mechanism, that is here HNO2 generally take part in the reaction. During the HNO2 participation, phenol is going to convert into ortho-nitrosophenol and para-nitrosophenol. So ortho-nitrosophenol and para-nitrosophenol, these two upon further oxidation we are adding these two products. So we cannot expect direct nitration by using HNO3, and here instead of HNO3, HNO2 may participate in the reaction, and we are getting the NO group in ortho and para position. This NO group is getting oxidized to NO2, and we are getting the NO2 in ortho and para position. If we want to prepare 2,4,6 trinitrophenol, let us consider phenol with concentrated nitric acid. Can you get 2,4,6 trinitrophenol? No. We are getting oxidized product, means we are getting different products instead of nitration products. So if you want to prepare 2,4,6 trinitrophenol, then the best method which we discussed earlier, that is phenol first. Better to convert into, better to perform sulfonation. Resultant we are getting ortho and para hydroxy benzene sulfonic acid. Whenever upon benzene SO3H group is there, it prevents the oxidation of OH. Remember that. Presence of SO3H group prevents oxidation of OH. We do not give any, it means presence of SO3H do not access for oxidation by using nitric acid. That's why when phenol converts into ortho or para hydroxy benzene sulfonic acid, which upon treatment with concentrated nitric acid, you are getting 2,4,6 trinitrophenol 90% product. But phenol direct nitration with concentrated nitric acid, you are not getting any nitration product because of OH group also gets oxidized. Don't forget that. Now, here during nitration, we have to use only dilute nitric acid. When we are using dilute nitric acid, you are getting two products, ortho-nitrophenol and para-nitrophenol. The ortho-nitrophenol and para-nitrophenol we can separate by steam distillation. Next reaction, Friedel-Crafts alkylation. In Friedel-Crafts alkylation, we learn in benzene reaction. Benzene upon reaction with alkyl halide imprints of anhydrous AlCl3 or Lewis acid FeCl3, ZnCl2, whatever it may be, and it gives alkyl benzene. Just like that here, instead of benzene we are going to use phenol, and OH group is ortho-para-dilated group. This one upon reaction with CH3Cl or C2H5Cl in presence of anhydrous AlCl3 catalyst, we are getting orthocresol and paracresol. That means CH3 group is substituted ortho and para position. So orthocresol or paracresol, whatever the alkyl group, it combined as to ortho and para position. This is what we call Friedel-Crafts alkylation. So similar to Friedel-Crafts alkylation, Friedel-Crafts acylation also. Phenol upon reaction with the acyl chloride, say acyl chloride CH3 double bond OCl in presence of AlCl3 catalyst. As we know that here AlCl3 accepts sulfate from chlorine and it converts into AlCl4 minus, and acylinium carbocation, which is more stable. This acylinium carbocation acts as electrophile, and this electrophile has to attack in ortho or para position. Then we are getting two products, that is OH and here C double bond OCH3 And along with this ortho product, we are getting para also OH, C double bond O, CH3. So acetophenone derivatives here, 2 hydroxy acetophenone and 4 hydroxy acetophenone. Friedel of acylation, this one. In all these reactions, ring is going to participate in the reaction. Means alcohol has to come and react in ortho and para positions.